Welcome to Coffee with Blaine. Coffee, Blaine. Heck yeah. How you guys doing today? Is there anybody out there? Is there anybody out there? Squeak, squeak. We're going with a different mic today. This is my trusty SM7B. And I'm not sure why I went with this mic. I just decided that we're going with this mic today, as opposed to the one I've been normally using. I don't know. Why? Why did they change it? Boredom? Probably some boredom. Also, though, I don't know. I was sounding a bit tin canish on the other mic. I thought maybe I'm just used to hearing podcasts with this particular mic. Exact Hoser, what's up, bro? Cheers. When we going out for Indian food? Yeah, the other one I like it. I do, and it just seemed like a fun thing. I prefer condensers, but yeah, it sounded different. So I'm gonna go back to this one. I'm gonna go back and forth. Yeah, Hoser. And just try out different applications. Becky, good morning. Good morning. Very cool Halloween decoration from on the commune. Thanks for sharing all that stuff. That's awesome. Yeah. I noticed that when I'm teaching lessons, the condensers work really well. If I'm playing an instrument that doesn't plug in, because this mic is very directional, so you have to get right in front of it, basically. And if you're off to the side, it doesn't pick up that well. But with these type of mics, you can be away from the mic and still get stuff picked up, which is good and bad. You know, it picks up a lot of background noise too. It seems like this one doesn't quite pick up the same amount of background noise, which is nice, you know? Becky, it was a sister request. Nice. Now I'm playing the ook. Janet, good morning. How you doing? What are we talking about today? Jordan, good morning. Good morning. How you doing? How's your day going? What are we getting into today? We can keep talking about mics. We can do a full compare and contrast. I have another line if we want to hear the differences. Getting the car worked on in the shop today. That sounds exciting. I feel like we're in September now. We're not just dipping our toe in September anymore. We're in it. We're in the thick of it. And yeah, I think everyone has their shit to do, as it's saying. You know, I have so much to do. I have a big list before October comes around. Sugar Ray on the Uber. That's a throwback. Oh my goodness. I guess we can talk about all the stuff we have to do this week. All the stuff that's stressing us out. I feel like a lot of us are stressed out. Or handling it like champs, one of the two, or both. Becky also has to get her car in the shop. Does it ever just hit you guys that, like, I know it hits me sometimes, like everything feels fine and then everything feels not fine. And my brain is constantly recounting all the things that need to be done that haven't been done. And it sort of overwhelmingly paralyzes my brain. Jennifer, good morning. Yeah, even making the list makes me feel awful. And then I think to myself, the only way I'm going to get this done is if I am consistent about it. But then I do have one good day of doing all the things, and then I take the next day and just basically fuck off because I did so much the previous day, and then I lose all of that consistency. 24-hour shifts, Becky. And it seems to hit in different times. Like it hits pretty big in September for me, I think. Yeah. And it seems like everything that I'm doing is not quite enough. I think maybe it's because of my time frames. Has something to do with it. Something takes immediate precedence, and I spend all my time working on that. And then everything else falls by the wayside, and then I have to pick up the next thing. And I'm always kind of doing everything and like what is immediate versus making any headway on the stuff that will later become immediate, so that it's not so stressful when it is immediate. Back to school. Yeah, maybe it's ingrained. I had almost 20 plus years of schooling. Yeah, and maybe it's just hardwired into me at this point that this is the time to be stressed and that everything's going to happen. And maybe society is ingrained like that. I don't know. I think it's just you and me at this point, Becky and Jordan. And you know what? I'm fine with that. I like it. Yeah. So, speaking of overly stressed things, it could also be that other people, their over stressfulness and trying to get things done in order of importance cause other things to happen at the last minute, which cause stuff for me to happen at the last minute. Jennifer, yay. Calming down. I like that. See, this is awesome. I love the fact that it's calming down for you. Jordan, I enjoy September time of year when summer closes up. My neighborhood definitely winds down. Oh, okay. See, now we have two opposite examples here. I need to start getting a little better posture too. We're gonna posture up here. If I put the mic up, then I have to have better posture, right? I think so. I use a cool app called Balance to meditate and help manage stress. It's nice to sit down for a few minutes and breathe. Life moves fast. I like how you ended that with part of a Ferris Bueller quote, Jordan. That's smart though. I really enjoy meditation, but I don't do it enough. Yeah. Maybe I just don't take control enough of my own time, if you will. because I feel compelled to meet others' schedules. I don't know. But let's dive in more on this, because it's just the five of us, I guess. There's 5 people here total, which is pretty crazy. I don't know necessarily why that is, but it is. And it's probably because I started late, like an hour behind my normal time. So it's like 1 o'clock. It's after people's lunch breaks on the East Coast. And it's into the workday for other people. Or maybe I'm shadow banned by Facebook. Who knows? Who knows? Trouble Clef, Scoob, what's up, bro? How you doing? Maybe it's the topic. Maybe it's the fact that I dropped an S and an F bomb already. Yeah, the tour is definitely looming. And just my brain keeps thinking of all these little things that will turn into big things if I don't do them now. So we're going to see what we can get done today. Steven, good morning. Ups and downs, some days stress, some days I slack off completely. Got to have that balance, but seem to be hardwired for the consistent grind and comes naturally. Yeah. I like to tell myself that I'm wired for the grind. And Christy likes to tell me that I'm always grinding. But I feel like a slacker. I feel like the reason that I'm always grinding is because of my procrastination and my quick ability to get sidetracked. You could also come because of last minute things that keep happening. So, for instance, I got a random gig on Saturday for a community type festival sponsored by this nonprofit called Interfaith, I believe, and it was for mental health. And so I get the gig, and I had like a week turnaround because I was just coming off a High festival to learn, I don't know, like 12 songs, which isn't bad, but instead of just learning the chords and skanking, I kind of went overboard and started learning the bass lines and the melodies, since it was going to be a two guitar type performance. And I'm feeling pretty good about it for the most part. Get all the tunes. And then on Friday night, the gig is on Saturday. I have to be there at 10:45 a.m. ish. Which was a hurry up and wait scenario because it was pushed back like almost 2 hours, or at least an hour, between an hour and 2 hours. But I get a call from another artist at like 10 o'clock at night asking me if I can play guitar for his set as well. And I'm like, well, I'm already going to be there. I might as well maximize, just maximize. Scott, what's up, bro? What the hell am I saying? Oh, yeah. I figure I'm going to maximize the set. So I get the call at 10:45 at night, and this dude's like, we want to play this set. And I was like, okay. So then I had like a couple hours at night. So instead of taking it and doing the paperwork, which I'm severely behind on, my accounting paperwork, basically, I take that time to learn that dude's set. I go to bed. I wake up early. I run through both artists' sets in the morning for like an hour and a half-ish to rush up there to play them both. And because of that, I feel like everything got behind. And generally when I play a gig like that in the afternoon, it's hard to get back on track for the rest of the day. Especially after you get done and you feel accomplished and all this stuff. But yeah, it's like all these things that creep up that I say yes to, which is part of my philosophy, by the way, just saying yes to opportunities. And it was good in the long run, paying some bills off because of those gigs. So I'm very appreciative. But yeah. And then now I'm feeling even more behind with more deadlines approaching. But anyway, Jordan, with big tours, I notice it helps to look at it with a one day, one show at a time mentality rather than think ahead of being gone for the whole month or two. That's just me. I like that approach, Jordan. That's dope. Like the Jim Carrey movie, Yes Man. Yeah, I mean, if I wouldn't have said yes to seemingly ridiculous opportunities, I wouldn't be playing with Hyrie, or I wouldn't have gone to school for music, or I wouldn't have just moved to California. So those decisions can shape my life. It's just dealing with the decisions and trying to keep everything running in the background. That's the tough thing. Like, I'm glad I took those gigs. They were fun. They built up relationships with clients that I've done recordings for and lessons with in the past. And they're helping me pay off a couple of bills that need knocked out. So it's awesome. Scott, good morning. It sounded great. Thanks, Jordan. You were crushing too, man. Yeah, Sensi Trails was the headliner of that show, and they were rocking it out. It was cool. I don't think I've ever seen you guys before, Jordan. It is definitely a plus. Seeing the vibe and the sound. Lindsay. How you doing? How's your day? I know you can relate to today because we are the small but mighty crew chatting about heartfelt stuff. What do you mean? What the fuck? Oh my goodness. You're ridiculous, Lindsay. I am generally only able to see bands when I happen to see them after our set or earlier in the day if I have some free time during a festival. I don't get out to shows that much. When you're playing like 100+ shows a year, it's very hard to want to go out to shows. For me, I have to be very selective with the shows that I go out to for, I guess, just entertainment. So luckily in the scene, there's so many good bands that I'm able to see really amazing sets just by going out to shows. Like I got to see the Sensi Trails jamming out just by going out to the show on Saturday and staying a little longer. Weege on YouTube. I love it. Jordan, we only get to see our friends' bands mostly when we cross paths at these festivals. Exactly, man. Exactly. That's it. Yeah, I know, Lindsay. I know. The only band you get to see live is your band. That's true, man. That's true. Auditing on your... No, stay on YouTube, bro. You'll be my one YouTuber. I like it. I have a random Twitch stalker too. So please show yourself or leave a comment in the comments. Comment your comment in the comments. Auditing. Can you audit my YouTube page when you're done? Nothing. We're just talking about being stressed and how September is a hotbed for stress for a lot of people. What is Twitch? I've seen the name around. Twitch is a streaming service focusing mainly on video live streams by gamers. But it also branches out into music and other arts as well. The program that I use, Restream, which is doing all of this, is simultaneously streaming to Facebook, I think both my personal page and business page, YouTube, and Twitch. Yeah. And probably a couple other ones. Oh my God, Weege. Ridiculous. Yeah, that I actually got talked down by my my lawyer friend, along with my lady friend. They both were like, basically, to use my favorite analogy, I'm drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. So I let that take way too much time out of my day. 2 days, actually. So for the most part, I'm just going to ignore that and keep meticulous records so that if the time does come, I will have enough to take proper action. But until then, I'm going to just ignore it. Heck yeah. Can you do the same for me, Weege? My birthday is next week. September is amazing. I mean, that's going to be great, Lindsay. You're going to be freaking, what, 25? Also, we need to get, for those of you who aren't familiar, Jordan is the drummer for the Sensi Trials. He's the one been spurring this conversation with me. And I think we need to get him on here and let's just get somebody else's point of view, because I'm tired of doing all the ranting. So I'm gonna link with Jordan, I think, and let's make that happen. Touring musician perspectives are important. DK, good morning and cheers to you, my lady. I don't know why I went all old English for that. Becky, do it. I like it. I like it. You're still here, Becky. Still hanging out. It's the small and mighty crew today. Speaking of stressful things today, I got a last minute live performance opportunity from Operation Culture as well. Kaylin, good morning. Originally, I had a date night with God damn it. Let's start over again. So, to clarify, I'm trying to say two things at once. I got an opportunity to play on a podcast with Operation Culture. The first thing I was going to say was that it was originally scheduled for last night, And I told them I couldn't do it because I had a date night with Christy. The second thing I was going to say is the song they just released, Legamus. I had to learn last night in a hurry because they moved the performance to today. I think they hit me up yesterday, last night, yeah, about moving the performance. I can't remember. It's all starting to be a blur. They moved the performance of the song Legamus and the podcast to tonight. So I had to sit down last night and then learn the tune, which is a great tune, by the way. I might be mispronouncing it. Legamus by Operation Culture. And song is out now. It's a new release. We're going to be doing an acoustic podcast version of it. I don't know what platform or what, but if you're not following Operation Culture, please go follow Operation Culture. God, I hate trying to say two things at once. Does that happen to you guys? That's something that happens in my brain all the time. I try to say two sentences at the same time, and it just ruins me. But anyway, Kaylin, good morning. Cheers to you. DK, right? I don't know. I haven't had much time to sit with this song except to learn it last night. Yeah, I always end up saying the weirdest sentences. Or texting. I'll be thinking of something or saying something, and I'll end up texting half of what I was starting to text, and then the other half of what I was thinking or saying, or saying what I was going to text. It's ridiculous. That is definitely a thing of being overstressed. I should focus on one thing and then focus on the other thing. But when they're weighted equally as far as my needing my attention, it makes it difficult. I have poor skills with dealing with that. My mouth can't catch up with my brain. Yeah, I got to take that pause, Jennifer. We all need to take that pause. I did see that pic on, speaking of texting and then doing stuff, I was trying to set up this podcast and I literally have a message. This is the other thing I do. It's in read. This is a picture of DK Snake that just shed, by the way. And here's my message back saying, I had 3 sheds in the past 2 weeks from my snakes. I actually have a fresh shed right there. My Dumeral's boa Medusa just shed last night. But I literally typed it in and I thought I sent it. And then I never sent it. I do that all the time. I'll go into a message and be like, oh, shit, I didn't send something from like days ago. Now I'm an asshole. I don't think it's ADD, honestly. I don't have any of the other symptoms associated with ADD for the most part. Honestly, I think my brain is just in a constant state of being overwhelmed because I don't deal with the stimuli well enough. Whereas I'm not compelled necessarily to be distracted, if that makes sense, or my attention is pretty good when I'm locked into something, if that makes sense. So like I can zone in on something, like if I'm doing a recording and I can literally blow up 5 hours listening to the same piece of music over and over again to find the right sound for a keyboard patch. I think it's just the amount of stimuli that pulls my attention that I don't deal with well. I don't want to be a person that says I have something or self-diagnoses myself as like, oh, I have an ADHD as like I don't know. For me, unless I get a proper diagnosis or fit the symptoms. I don't want to, you know, I don't want to claim anything that's not, you know, what's going on, because I think that does a disservice for the people who are actually struggling with those conditions, if that makes sense. I don't know. That's just me. Anyone who has it, and I know some people who genuinely struggle with ADHD, and yeah, I don't want to minimize their condition or propel a myth that people just use that as an excuse by claiming that I have something that I don't. That was an extremely long-winded rant, guys. How is that? How's that? This is why you guys are here, right? This is why you stick around. This is the hard-hitting content that you adore with this SM7B. Not this warm audio, which I love, by the way. I might have to just switch out mics. I think the warm audio for lessons might be good, or maybe just a pencil condenser. A pencil condenser is a small microphone for acoustic instruments down here, and then this one. Who knows? Let me go. DK, you tried. I did try. It's not for lack of trying. That's for damn sure. But Yoda would be pissed because it's do or do not. There is no try. DK does have a very pretty snake. She's got two. She stole one of my snakes. Did I tell you guys that? DK stole one of my snakes after paying for it. After I asked her. Weege, what's your favorite rhythm guitar chord? Does it have to be a rhythm guitar chord? Or can it be just my favorite chord in general? Personally, diminished 7 slid into a dominant 7 flat 9. What diminished 7 into what dominant 7 flat 9? Are you talking about the half step slide? Because that's not a diminished 7. That's just a chromatic movement of dominant 7 flat 9 chords. Let's do this, guys. All right, I'm plugged into something. Turn that on. I bet you it'll show up. All right, so a dominant 7 flat 9 chord. So a dominant 7 is a major chord with a flat 7. So if we're in the key of E, ooh, there we go. Let's add some reverb to that, because why not? So there's my E major chord. Now, if I want to make it a dominant 7, I'm going to add a flat 7, which in this case is the note D. So there's my dominant 7 E. We called it just E7. Now, if I wanted a 9 chord, I would add a 9 on top of that. I have to change the shape a little bit, but this is just adding an F sharp to the E. And that is an E. Right? Here's my F sharp. Do I? Oh, I have a octaver on it. Let me turn that off. So there's my 9 chord. If I wanted to flat the 9 in this case is the F sharp we just talked about. So I just lower it by 1/2 step. So there's my dominant 7 flat 9. And this chord is very good for being a minor 5, or not being a minor 5, but being a 5 chord for a minor. So, and we call this an altered dominant in jazz. And this would lead right to A minor. And sometimes you can walk down from the regular 9 to the flat 9. And if you go from what they call a 2-5 in jazz, if you alter the 2, which is also minor, to make that a minor flat 5, you have this note F, which is beautiful, and then you move to this E with the flat 2, which is also F, right? Pretty. And then you move down to the 6, or the minor 6. What's up, Jessica? How you doing? Hyperfocus is a symptom of ADD. Well, I definitely don't pretend to know the symptoms like the back of my hand, but I can't say that the people that I know that have ADHD and my own way of dealing with stuff don't line up. That much I do know. You sound less NPR. That's a bummer, because this is the mic of NPR. Crete mic. It's a good rant. I've got a case of the Monday, so just keep ranting. It helps. Warm audio one you record acoustic on. I have a different warm audio one that I record acoustic on for the most part. Yeah. Any chord. Yeah, so I don't know. Just trying to get you to play guitar, LOL. That's the one. That's what I groove hard on. Free guitar lessons with Blaine. Yeah. If anyone's interested in actual lessons, please DM me. I love teaching. It's almost as much as I love playing. So if you feel stuck anywhere, please hit me up, and or if you know someone, or even kids. I work well with kids. That riff reminded me of old school Incubus. Hell yeah. That was sick. You could write all kinds of vocal melodies and hooks on that structure alone. Yeah. I like it with a so if you take a normal 2-5 that should resolve into major, like say we'll go D flat to G flat, you want it to go here to B, right? But if you take it and just work it down to our altered, right? Or you can do the altered first. And go to major. That's kind of cool. Can you do ook lessons? Yes, I can do ook lessons. 100%. I love playing the ook. And Yeah, I'm trying to figure out where that diminish comes in. I guess. Are you talking full diminished or half diminished? So I could go like a full diminished. That works. Diminished to a regular 7. But going a full diminished to altered dominant. Let's see. Maybe that kind of works. I could take that. If you take the half step up, right? So this would be let's go with a E flat diminished to a D 7 flat 9. Instead of playing this altered 2, this is what we call a tritone substitution. So what would be an A gets subbed by a half step up with a dominant chord. You can do the same thing with major. So instead of this, with the A minor, you would use E flat dominant down to a D dominant, right? Which works the same way as. So if you did a diminished, you could do the same thing. So instead of here, you could go like that. So using a diminish as a tritone sub for the minor 2 chord works well. Is that what you're talking about? Oh. Oh, yeah. For some reason, I tend to look up and to the left when I'm thinking. Never, almost always to the left. Yeah, yeah. If I'm playing and I'm not concentrating like that, I don't tend to do that. But is your middle finger on the 3rd fret of the last chord? Oh, yeah. So this is a G minor 7. So it's basically just the 3rd fret. We're skipping the A string. So I bar this with my ring finger, and then I bring my middle finger over top. That way it mutes the A string. And I can easily go to here. Okay, that's some guitaring. Yay! I think we lost everybody but you and me, Weege. It's just you and me now. Thanks for scaring off my people. We are not doing CTTS, Stephen. Not this year. This is all a foreign language to me. Yeah. Ouija's question was very specific. So Yeah, I answered it in pretty specific terms, but having some depth of knowing what the numbers mean make all the difference. And if we're just talking about fun chords, I just like minor sevenths, honestly. Minor seventh chords are great, and I love them so much. Just a simple, you know. Yeah, simple chords. I do like the Jimmy chord there every once in a while. The like the 7 sharp 9 chords. However that goes. There it is. Yeah. Something like that. But yeah, that chord. I've also been loving regular major chords with a third in the bass. So instead of this chord, which is just C, just playing a C but with the E in the bass. Which also invokes a very Hendrix, very John Frusciante vibe. You know, that type of thing. Those are fun. Oh, I got an alert from my dog tracker, which is awesome. Where are you, puppy? Where you go? Curdy's been in town, so he's been running by the back gate, and it'll register him as leaving the property. But the GPS isn't perfect, so gotta check those alerts though in case he's running around the neighborhood. All right, we got like 10 minutes. We've literally just talked about stress. Are you missing one of your dogs? Yeah, so we can talk about this for sure, Kaylin. So I have a GPS tracker on my dog collar for Duke, my German Shepherd. And I set up a geofence around the property, and it gives me an alert whenever it pings him outside of that geofence. And yeah, just helping me keep an eye on where they are, even though I'm busy throughout the day or may not be on the property. And that way I can have someone check on them before I get a call or text from the neighbors. And yeah, it works out well. It also keeps track of weird things like his calorie burning. It's kind of like he's got his own little Apple Watch on his collar. I charge it like once a week or so for a couple hours, and then it's good to go. My giant tortoise got out of the yard the other day. My mail lady was pounding on the door to let us know he's wandering the neighborhood. Yeah. Tortoises are surprisingly good escape artists. And my old landlady had a California desert tortoise, and she had to like dig the fences down like a foot down into the yard and stuff. Leave for the airport in 15 minutes. You excited, Kaylin? You ready for this? I hope so. Hell yeah, Kaylin. Oh, dang, DK. Look at you. Look at you. Rocking it. All right, guys. Well, I have got to get doing all this other stuff. I almost didn't pop on today, but I really wanted to see you guys. You guys are great motivation. You guys are super fun. Always taking my day in a cool direction. So I appreciate you guys all for that. Thank you for hanging out with me today. Wish me luck. I just moved the mic with my face. Lauren, good morning, by the way. Oh, thanks. You too, Becky. Keep sharing that stuff to Dillinger's Creative Commune, by the way. Oh, just in time, Kaylin. Just in time. Kyle Smith, new single comes out on Friday. Don't forget to pre-save. I like it. I'm glad you caught it today too, DK. Thank you. Thank you guys for being so awesome. And I appreciate each and every one of you. Let's go out and kick today's ass, shall we? All right.